welcome everyone to a new video on our channel FPL Nerds. My name is Timo.
And my name is MJ, and today we're gonna share with you our Game Week 10 points, our Game Week 11 transfers, as well as how the teams are shaping up for Game Week 11.
Yeah, a little bit of apologies first because the video is coming out a bit late on the same day actually of the game week, but we had to wait for some more information about the players and also due to the matches they were playing, so we wanted to make sure there is no new injuries so we can give you all the right stuff. Okay, so let's waste not no more any more time and jump into it right away. Okay guys, so this is how my team did in game week 10. I have 67 points, which gave me another green arrow to almost 2 million. Actually, I was in a much better position until the Arsenal match. I was actually at 1.6 and then Martinelli happened. And then my rank went down again to from 1.6 to 2 million and I ended up in that way. Anyway, let's take a look at the team itself. The Man City boys did really well with a 4-0 win at Southampton. Cancelo was amazing, had 1 goal, 1 assist, a clean sheet, and some bonus point, which was great to see 18 points for Cancelo finally. I know that this was not very good for you, MJ,
Not at
specifically,
all, not at all.
because you don't own Cancelo, so I
I
understand the
was
pain.
expecting bad news, but not this bad.
Well, yeah, it was pretty heavy for people who didn't own Cancelo, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
And of course, Haaland, my captain, got 1 goal, so I double up to 12, which was also right. Anyway, everybody was captaining Haaland and that week, so didn't really matter that much. Apart from that, I had also a few good returns. So Trippier 7 points. I had Bowen who scored again 7 points. Zaha with only an assist 5 points. Solanke surprisingly had 2 returns actually in the form of 2 assists, which was a very good surprise since Mitrovic didn't play.
Yeah,
And
right. And he has very low ownership.
yeah, exactly. It was a big differential, and that helped a bit in the ranks. And Jesus only had 1 assist with 5 points. My biggest disappointment probably with that week was to have Andreas on the bench and he didn't come in. And Williams just coming in for a cameo in the end of the match for like 1 point. That was not really nice. So I think Williams is on the chopping block and he will be going out of my team pretty soon, but he's not a priority now. So I need to take a look at what I'm gonna need to do else. But when I look at that team overall for the next week, I'm not planning actually on making any transfers, and I'll roll out the transfer for the week after because game week 12 is where we need all the transfers possible because we have Arsenal and Man City blanking, and I already have like 4 players from those, so I will need every possible transfer to adjust my team for that game week specifically.
Yep.
So let's take a look at least what my team is looking like for game week 11 and see how it's shaping up. Alright guys, so this is how my team is shaping up for game week 11. In the back, I decided of course to go with Sanchez against Brentford. Brighton so far has conceded the least amount of goal with only 9 goals. On the other hand, Ward conceded 24 goals with Leicester. They are the worst out of all the Premier League teams so far. So for me, it was an easy choice, of course, to go with Sanchez for this one. In the back, we have Cancelo. Yes, Cancelo is facing Liverpool, which is going to be a tricky match. However, Liverpool was still not there in the form, I think. So anything could happen actually in that match, but I would rather play him because he could get an assist or something in this match. So let's see what happens. After that, the big question, of course, is will James be playing? So far, it's only a yellow flag with 75 chance of playing, and we'll be waiting for the press conference today to see what will Potter say about him. But even if he's gonna miss this match, I would rather keep him because after this game week, the matches are quite decent, and James himself has proven that he can be a very good FPL asset and get a lot of points. So
Yeah, also your first sub is quite good. Andreas against Bournemouth, I think it's a good fixture.
yeah, exactly. If James didn't play at all, I still have Andreas, who also can be a decent shout for this game week since they're playing against Bournemouth at home. Next to him is Saliba, who is playing Leeds, which should be a good match for him. Arsenal are in the top of the Premier League and they have the best attack, but also a decent defense. So and Saliba can sometimes get these very odd goals or assists here or there. So I think it could be a good shout for this week also. And I would rather play him instead of Williams, for example, because Williams starting to lose his game time and to Aurier, and I think he will be going out of my team pretty soon anyway. But to be honest, I also have other priorities to think about for game week 12, and that's why I said I'm running the transfer so I can use him in the week after. Finally, Trippier against Manchester United away, which also can be a very tricky match for them. But I think Trippier is starting to be one of the players that is fixture proof and he can always
Yeah, exactly.
deliver something there. He's also on set pieces, he's also on corners, so he have a lot of chances. And also, from what I saw recently from a statistic, that he has the most number of crosses in all the Premier League defenders. So yeah, Trippier is staying there. That's it for the defense. Moving on to the mids, I still have Salah. Yes, I know. People will be looking at me like, why you still have Salah? Because, well, guys, if you take a look at what happened in Champions League, that's exactly why I keep Salah, because he can get a hat trick in less than 10 minutes. So, if he really get back into form, he can still deliver a lot of points. So and the fixtures are turning really good from game week 12 on. So it's no point of selling him right now, and with the nice run of fixture they will have after that. So yeah, Salah stays, and hopefully he can get us something in the Manchester City match since they're playing at Anfield. So it's always an advantage for Liverpool. After that is Zaha having a match against Leicester. Zaha is still the talisman of Crystal Palace. However, in the last match, I didn't really like what I saw from Zaha. He wasn't really trying hard enough. He's always like when somebody comes to tackle him, he falls on the ground right away, and he's trying to get a foul here or there. He's not really doing the work as much as he's supposed to. So I'll keep an eye on Zaha for this match, see how he do, and then maybe I could switch him because I don't know. From the eye test, for me, like personally, he didn't look that good in the last match.
I agree with you. In the same time, I can still say that Zaha is still one of the focal, if not the focal point of Crystal Palace's attack. And we all know that same as Salah, for example, he's the kind of player that can score 10 points plus in any given match.
Hmm, maybe.
So I still think he's a pretty good choice. Look at the fixtures that he has ahead from now until game week 18 or 19. I don't remember exactly, but he has very good fixtures. So unless you have a way better other choice, I wouldn't necessarily consider changing him yet.
Yeah, but that's what I got him actually for the fixtures because they are pretty good for Crystal Palace indeed until game week even 18. Yeah,
Mm.
it's mainly green there. So yeah, let's see what happens tonight, and I will be keeping an eye on Zaha to reassess later. Moving on to the third mid, which is Bowen, which has been a great surprise for me so far. The last two matches he delivered, and he actually scored again in Europa League yesterday with a goal for West Ham. So I think Bowen's getting back into form, and if he keep on doing this, that would be great because he's still a great differential. He's less than 10% owned, I think. Let me double check that. Yeah, he's still at 5.3. So
Oh,
if he can, if he scores, that's always great for me. Finally, we're going to the forwards, and I have Jesus playing against Leeds, which I already mentioned, the same as Saliba. It's a great match. Jesus has been sharp since the beginning. He's also scoring a lot, so yeah, I think I will be keeping Jesus and bench him for the game week 12. Or, there's a lot of plans in my head. I don't want to get through it right now for game week 12 because I've been like going crazy with the changes to, get the best team possible. But, overall, Jesus is a great asset and he will be playing for sure in this game week. Game week 12,
actually,
still to consider.
sorry.
Go ahead.
despite the fact that he's actually gonna blank in game week 12, he actually has, according to checkthechance.com, he has a 38.5% chance of scoring this match, and this does not take into consideration any additional bonus points or assists that he might provide. So yeah, he's in the second most dangerous attacking team,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, well, some will argue that he's in the most attacking team because Arsenal are on top.
Yeah, okay. In terms of goals scored, Man City is still up there.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, so right next to him is the Man City player, the man, Mr. Erling Haaland. So I think he will again be my captain because now it's just a matter of being afraid not to captain him because everybody else will. Yes, it's against Liverpool and it's away. So, it's not going to be an easy match for Haaland, but I think Haaland can score against anybody. With the form he is right now and the way that everybody in the team is helping him to get these goals, I think he will continue on scoring. So, I don't want to risk it too much and go for a differential captain just for the sake of it. I will probably stay safe and keep it on Haaland for the moment because we know what he can do. And finally, next to him is Solanke against Fulham away. Look, he's a 5.7, so I'm not expecting much for him. But the last match, he got 2 assists. Maybe he can still get something from this one. And don't forget that he's also on penalty, so it's always a plus. Finally, the bench represented Andreas, which is a good first sub in case James doesn't play. Williams and then Elliott with a very tough match against Manchester City, so that's why he's on third, and we still don't know if he start from the beginning or he get just another 30 or 20 minutes at the end. However, he did good in the last match in the Champions League. He did score a goal, so let's see what happens. So that's it from my team. Hopefully you'll get me all the FPL points. So let's move on to your team and see what you did last week.
All right then. So this is my team for game week 10. Very disappointing for me. I dropped 200k in rank. Now I'm on 247k, which was absolutely horrible. And despite the fact that I actually had 7 out of 11 players which returned, I still managed to get this big drop. Why? Because Cancelo. So yeah, leaving aside the players that I don't have, let's talk about the players that I have. In goal, I have Ward, who managed to just get me 1 point. In the defense, James, as we all know, he only got 1 point alongside Tsimikas, just 1 point. Williams, another point. So blank, blank, blank. And the only defender who actually had the return was Kieran Trippier, and he brought home another 7 points, and I'm very happy to have him. Now,
Mm.
moving on to the midfield, I have Kevin De Bruyne, who once again delivered, and he's looking really good. Okay, I might be contradicting myself, and you'll find out very soon when I get to the transfers. But once again, he delivered. He was able to get an assist next to him. Son, he looks like he's back on track. To be honest, little by little, he's getting back into shape. He had 1 assist with 6 points. Andreas Pereira, who came in instead of Sterling, he actually scored, and it was a very good surprise. He brought 6 points. And lastly, Zaha with 5 points. As Timo already said, we could have expected a little bit more from his side in
Yeah,
the previous match, but still, I think 5 points is quite reasonable. At least he did not blank. He had a return, and as long as they bring back some additional points, anything on top of the 2 or 3 points is more than welcome. And in the attack, I have Erling Haaland, who was my captain, a total of 12 points. He only scored 1 goal. He actually had the chance of scoring 2 or 3 other goals,
yeah.
but
Wasn't
not
lucky that
everybody is
day.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. On any other given day, I think he would have scored at least 1 or 2 extra goals. But still, considering that everybody is captaining him already, I don't think it would have made a huge differential.
true.
Okay, and the last player in my starting 11 is Dominic Solanke, who was a great bet, and he somehow managed to get those two assists. Absolutely great. He's owned less than 5%, and he's at 5.7 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he did pretty well for his.
He's much less owned than 5%. He's only at 1.8 right now. So
Okay, wow.
so anything that will come from him is a great differential.
Yeah, absolutely good. Let's hope that he keeps it up in the next coming matches, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm? Okay, now moving on to the bench, I have Iverson with 0 points. Sterling did not get the chance to play as well, also 0 points. And then 8 Nuri and Archer, each one got 1 point. So, yeah, as I said at the beginning, despite the fact that I got a huge red arrow, if I come to think about it, the main differential was Cancelo.
Mm.
He's the one that made me drop in rank a lot.
And
Obviously, and Martinelli.
I was just about to say, yeah, Martinelli also, because he hurt me. So if you don't have him, he probably hurt you too.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, let's see what transfers I made. I took
Okay.
another hit. I actually made two
Wow.
transfers, and yeah, I got hurt. I had this is my third red arrow in a row, and I really needed to make some changes. From the
Okay.
moment I used my wild card, it went downhill. So yeah,
Sorry, mate. So yeah, let's check it
it's
out and
okay. It
see.
happens.
It
FPL.
happens. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, let's see what kind of transfer you made.
All right. So the first transfer will be De Bruyne to Martinelli. Hear me out. I know I was just praising De Bruyne and I was saying how good and constant he's been. However, now the next two matches are the main reason why he's going out. Next match is against Liverpool away. And I'm not saying that he's gonna blank in this match. Last year, I think he scored 2 goals actually. However, I'm not really sure that's going to happen again. And in the same time, once you see my second transfer, you will understand that this actually helps the with the blank game week 12 for both Arsenal and Manchester City.
Hmm.
Okay, so De Bruyne went out and Martinelli came in. His fixtures look absolutely great. Apart from game week 12, obviously, he has Leeds away, Southampton away, and Nottingham Forest at home. We all know that he's a very dangerous player. He's able to cut inside long shots, even he gets into the box. And with those fixtures, considering they're lacking in defense, the opponent teams, I think he will have a pretty decent score. Maybe he will not have the same exact score as De Bruyne, but considering the amount of funds that I'm saving up with this change, in my opinion, it's worth it, and I went through with it.
Yeah, you're saving a lot of money for sure, and to well, there's not I don't know from like FPL points. From FPL points view, I think they're pretty similar when it comes to scoring. So yeah, considering the fixtures and that you're saving money, yeah, I understand the move.
All right, then. So this is my second transfer. I took
Hmm.
out Archer and I brought in Aubameyang. Now, first of all, this will be quite helpful in Game Week 12 because I'm taking out a player that had no chance of getting minutes in that blank. And I'm getting a player who has actually good potential of scoring in the same blank against Brentford away. Now, what can I say about him? He only played one match in the Premier League so far, and he scored a goal. Despite the fact that the last match he was rested, I still think this was due to the fact that they needed him to play in the
Champions League.
AC Milan match.
Yeah,
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. And what can I say? Graham Potter did a great job. They were last in the group, I think, and now they're top of the group. So so far it's working out. Now going back to Premier League, look at those fixtures: Aston Villa away, Brentford away, Manchester United home, and Brighton away. Manchester United home and Brighton away, they might not be the best or the easiest ones, especially I would say Brighton away. However, Aston Villa and Brentford away, I really think that he can be a good differential, and he has the stats on his side. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, he has 32.5 chance of scoring. That's not taking into consideration any assisting potential. Also, I have Sterling in my team. I know on one hand it can be pretty dangerous to own two Chelsea attackers. On the other hand, I know that if there will be a goal, one of my players will be most probably involved, whether it's Aubameyang or Sterling or even Reece James if he plays.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, also in terms of clean sheets, they have a very good chance of keeping a clean sheet against Aston Villa, considering that they did not look very amazing in the attacking department. So yeah, in my opinion, I think it's a good move for me, and it still gives me, I think, 2.6 or 2.7 million left in the bank.
Okay.
And this will help me in the future to upgrade either one of my defenders to 7 million or 7.1 million defender, which would mean maybe Robertson or maybe somebody else. I'm still waiting to see. This is going to happen in 2 game weeks time.
Yeah.
Or I can even upgrade Sterling to Salah if he starts scoring and he's back to the Salah we all know.
Well, very interesting actually. Yeah, going down from De Bruyne to Martinelli did save you a lot of funds. So yeah, that can help your team a lot to improve somewhere else. So yeah, I get it. I get it. But it's an interesting one. I hope it works for you because you really need these
Oh,
points
yeah.
to go back up in the ranks. So
I'm
let's
still fighting for top 10K. I know I'm 250, but I'm aiming for the top 10K, and I believe I can go back up there.
okay. Best of luck, man. So let's see how your team
Thanks,
is
I
shaping
need
up
it.
for the next week.
All right. All right, so this is how my team is shaping up for game week 11. In goal, I will start Ward. He has a home game against Crystal Palace. In basically for me, I'm not expecting any easy game for Ward because they've conceded 24 goals so far in 9 game weeks. So I think that's a lot. And any clean sheet that will come on my way, I will embrace it happily, but I'll not be expecting any, to be very honest. Now, moving on to the defense, and the big elephant in the room is the fact that James has a knock, and I'm not pretty convinced that he's gonna start. He looks like he has just a small knock, and he will start, but I cannot be really sure. And considering the fact that my only two other defenders that can come in and replace him are Neko Williams and Tsimikas. Tsimikas will most probably not play because
Robertson is back.
Robertson.
Yeah.
Exactly. And Neko Williams is in rotation with
Aurier.
Aurier. So this is depending to the manager on who he decides to play this next game. Yeah, this, in my opinion, this is the biggest disadvantage in my team. Now let's move on. Next to him, I have Trippier against Man United away. It's a tough fixture, but once again, Trippier is fixture proof. He can deliver defensively as well as offensively with all the free kicks, corners, and all the rest of the crosses.
Yeah.
And next to him, there is Ait Nouri. He has a pretty decent match against Nottingham Forest. Actually, they are rated second for clean sheet odds with 43%. And I think that's pretty good for a 4.3 million defender. And yeah, looking forward, and maybe even why not, he can even have some attacking returns. His underlying stats, attacking wise, are not that bad as well. Okay. Now, moving to the midfield, I have Martinelli, who has a pretty easy fixture against Leeds away. I'm expecting the Arsenal guys in general to be scoring at least 2 or more goals. and definitely hoping Martinelli will take a piece of that nice pie.
Yeah, he usually
Uh,
does. So Jesus, Martinelli are the main two players that will actually scored the most so far. So yeah, he have a good chance.
Actually, Saka as well, by the way. He's been pretty consistent ever since the beginning of the season. However, he was overlooked, easily overlooked because of his price, and he blanked in game week 2 and 3. And there were other players like Rodrigo, Grosh, and so on that were
Scoring
scoring
more.
way above expectations.
Yeah,
But Saka as well, he's still a very good pick, if you ask me.
he's getting there. I think he's getting there,
Yeah,
slowly
yeah,
but surely.
definitely. Definitely. Next to him, there is Son, who has a home game against Everton. Everton is has a tough defense, but we all know how good can Son be. Recently, he looks like he's back to the Son we all know and love. The Son that keeps smiling with every goal and every dribble that he makes. And yeah, I think they have a good shot at winning this game, and Son will most probably will be delivering at least one attacking return.
Yeah, it's a home match, so they have all the stats next for them, to score in that game.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And next to him, there's Sterling. Sterling blanked last game week as he was rested for the Champions League game with AC Milan, which they also won 2-0. And now I think he has been rested enough and he should be fit and ready to play against Aston Villa away, who haven't been this great defensively. They're, let's say, mid table defensively. However, considering that Chelsea is getting stronger and stronger now under Graham Potter, they have all the chances in the world to win this game and Sterling to have his attacking contributions. And the last person in my midfield is none other than Wilfred Zaha, who last week only had one return. We expected way more. But if you come to think about it, the moment you get disappointed that a player only gives you one return, this says something about that player, that he's a good quality player and it's expected a lot from him.
Fair enough.
So, considering the Leicester away match that he has against Ward, I'm pretty confident that he has a good shot of scoring. And worst case, if Crystal is not able to score, then I have the clean sheet from Ward.
Yeah, yeah. So a win-win.
It's a wishful thinking, but let's see.
Good.
Okay, now let's go to the front three. In front, I have Aubameyang against Aston Villa. Same exact story like Sterling. He's been rested in the Premier League match for the Champions League match, and now he should be ready to start scoring again in the Premier League. He only played so far one game in the Premier League, and he already scored. So I think he will continue doing this. Next to him, there is Erling Haaland, who will also be my captain. He has a pretty tough fixture against Liverpool, but we all know he's fixture proof and he's the goal scorer of the Premier League so far. And I'm pretty sure he's going to keep on breaking some records. If
Yeah,
no injuries or nothing bad happens, the way he started, I think he's going to go crazy with the number of goals.
yeah.
Yeah, and for my last pick, it's Solanke. He has a pretty decent fixture as well. He has Fulham away, which defensively they're not that strong actually. Fulham are pretty decent offensively, but in the defense they are lacking.
Yeah.
And Solanke is on penalties. He, as previously mentioned, he's a very physical player. He has those offensive runs. He can get in behind. And as we saw last match, is not only scoring, he can also provide assists.
Yeah. Well, pretty much actually, Bournemouth and Fulham are not that far away when it comes to defensive part because Bournemouth are third worst and Fulham are fourth worst
Yeah.
in all the teams in Premier League when it comes to goals conceded. So yeah, there's not much difference in there when it comes to defense. So I think he have a good chance maybe to get something from this match.
Let's hope so. He can be a great differential.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And to close up, I have the bench in goal Iverson, then Andreas Pereira, who is worst case, if there's any player who's not going to play, he has a very decent fixture against Bournemouth at home. As you just mentioned, they're lacking defensively. And then Neko Williams and Tsimikas. I'm not really expecting too much of them. Maybe just Neko Williams, if he starts and gets at least a 2-pointer in case James doesn't play, I would be not happy, but better than
Better than nothing,
0 points.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So yeah, this sums up my team. I really hope this week is gonna be way better than the previous 2 weeks I had. I dropped over 200,000 places in the last 2 weeks. And yeah, let's go back to the top 10K.
Yeah, I
It's a
wish.
marathon, it's not a sprint.
Exactly,
So
that's what I always say too.
exactly.
Yeah, I wish you all the best, man. Your team looks solid, so yeah, you should be able to get up a rank a little bit this week.
I hope so.
Wish you all the best. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you do, just don't forget to drop us a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can get all the new videos. Best of luck to all of you for the next game week, and we'll be seeing you soon. Have a good one.
Cheers.